Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right in today to explore a truly fantastic book by John Coley called The Western Weird. But listen, we aren't just going to sit here and give you a basic plot summary. No, we're looking specifically at why this book's absolutely wild genre mashup makes it a perfect and deeply beneficial read for middle graders. If you've ever felt like you just didn't quite fit in, or if you know a young reader who's right in the thick of navigating all the awkwardness of growing up, this story, it's a total goldmine. It offers some incredible psychological and emotional tools, all completely disguised as an epic, edge-of-your-seat adventure. Okay, let's dive into this. To really get why this story grabs a young reader's attention so quickly, we have to ask, what happens when pioneer survival meets Arthurian magic? The author literally smashes two entirely different worlds together here. On one hand, you have the gritty, survival-focused life of pioneers out in the Arizona Rim Country. We're talking dusty trails, hauling water, just busting your back to keep the family farm alive. And then, on the flip side, you have ancient, mythic magic stepping right out onto that dusty frontier. It's his brilliant genre-blending hook that takes the deeply relatable struggles of everyday chores and just supercharges them with high-stakes fantasy. And honestly, that brings us right to the title itself. When middle graders hear the word weird, right, they almost always think of someone who is odd or just doesn't fit the social norm. But the book totally flips the script and redefines this word for its readers. We actually learn from a character named Tom Thumb, and yeah, it's exactly that, Tom Thumb, though here he happens to be a dying giant, which is awesome. He explains that the word weird actually originates from a much older meaning. It refers to the supernatural or being prolific with an ancient lineage. Suddenly, being weird isn't an insult at all. It establishes this really cool, unexpected vibe, where being different actually means you're connected to something ancient and powerful. So let's meet the girl at the center of all this. Section 1. Meet Cimmeriah, the outsider. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is looking at our 14-year-old protagonist, Simoria. She feels incredibly awkward. She knows for a fact that she's different, and she constantly worries that she's a burden to her family. Why? Well, physically, she has this truly bizarre skin condition. Water instantly beads up and rolls right off her, leaving her bone dry. Her skin is practically impenetrable, like she never gets bruised or cut, and her senses of sight, sound, and smell are just dialed up to 11. But internally, how does she actually feel about these quote-unquote superpowers? Honestly, she feels massively guilty. Her family spent badly needed money on doctors trying to diagnose her, so she hides her abilities because they're just a constant reminder that she is an outsider. And man, that internal struggle is just so incredibly relatable for any young reader who feels self-conscious about what makes them unique. All right, moving right along to our next section, Myths on the Frontier. So while Simoria is busy wrestling with her identity, the world around her gets very complicated very quickly. Ancient legends literally march right into her frontier town. An ancient prolific named Hamblin arrives, and guys, Hamblin is actually the mythic Pied Piper. His grim little grift works in 4 totally creepy steps. Step 1, he plays this beautiful flute music that completely enraptures the townsfolk, just putting them in a total trance. Step 2, he unleashes a horrific plague of massive, aggressive rats that harass the town day and night. Step 3, he swoops in and convinces the desperate town to give him all their money to make the rats go away. And then step 4, absolutely the most terrifying part, he changes the tune, terrifies the adults, and uses those same rats to steal nearly 100 children away into the wilderness as a dark sacrifice. But here is where the story completely shifts gears for our protagonist. Because Simoria is weird, because she actually shares that ancient, prolific lineage, she is 100% immune to the Piper's magical music. It doesn't affect her at all. The very thing that made her feel so alienated and alone is the exact thing that forces her into the terrifying position of being the absolute only person who can save those stolen kids. She can't sit on the sidelines anymore. Her weirdness is literally the town's only hope. Which brings us to a really beautiful part of this explainer. Let's look at the power of chosen family. Before she sets off to face this ancient evil, we really have to look at her family dynamic. You see, Simoria was found abandoned as a baby by an Apache man and was given to pioneer settlers Shannon and Edward. Now listen to this beautiful quote from her adoptive mother Shannon when Simoria asks about her mysterious origins. Shannon tells her, "Where you come from is not who you are, and who you are is someone wonderful." Wow, that just grounds the entire adventure in this profound, specific wisdom. It tells young readers flat out that your worth isn't determined by your biology or some mysterious past, but by the love you share and the person you choose to be. And we see this fierce loyalty from her whole family as she prepares to face down Hamblin. Shannon obviously provides this unconditional love and spiritual guidance, but look specifically at her younger brother Abe. Since their father passed, Abe has really stepped up as the man of the house. When he catches Samaria sneaking out to rescue the town's children, he doesn't try to stop her. He doesn't lock her in her room. Instead, he equips her. He gifts her their late father's sharpened knife and his shotgun. And most importantly, he validates her worth. He tells her to take the weapons because, as he says, guns and crops can be replaced, but she cannot. He completely, unequivocally accepts her as his sister, no questions asked. Let's move to our next big theme and see how this all builds up. Embracing what makes you different. Okay, so armed with her dad's shotgun and completely fueled by her family's love, Samaria climbs the rim to confront her destiny. On her journey, she meets that dying giant we talked about earlier, Tom Thumb, who actually helps her solve the mystery of her only physical connection to her past, this tiny leather baby bracelet. Her adoptive parents had always looked at it and thought the markings were the Roman numerals 5, 5, and 6. But Tom Thumb takes a look and reveals they aren't numbers at all. They're letters, V, V, N. And it's not a set of initials either. It's a claim. It spells Vivium. And let me tell you, this revelation pays off in the most thrilling way during the climax. Samaria finally confronts Hamblin. She actually manages to blast him with her shotgun, but the guy is impossibly strong. He strikes her, shattering the gun, and hurls her right over a cliff, into the dark, freezing waters of a deep-rim lake. She's sinking, fully expecting to drown in the one element she hates more than anything else in the world. But suddenly, her eyes open. She can breathe. It finally clicks for her. Her hated, water-repellent skin means she actually commands the water. She is the daughter of Vivian, the mythic lady of the lake. Rising up out of that water, she uses the lake itself and a pretty wild army of drowned, undead rats to utterly demolish the Pied Piper and strip him of his magic flute. It is so cool. So bringing this all together, Section 5, Why Middle Graders Love It. And this brilliantly illustrates why a story about Arthurian magic in Pioneer, Arizona matters so much. It's because these specific narrative beats provide direct psychological and emotional benefits to young readers. Think about it. When the story explores Samoria's unusual isolating powers actually turning into her greatest strength, it's directly teaching the reader self-acceptance. When it highlights her adoptive family so fiercely protecting her, it helps young readers understand and really value diverse family structures and what unconditional love looks like. And when Samaria takes agency, marching out totally alone to face down an ancient giant just to save those kids, that models profound agency and courage. It tells the reader that, hey, even when you are scared and you feel incredibly small, you can still make a massive difference. And the ultimate reward for all that courage? It isn't just saving the day. It's total acceptance. At the very end of the story, her brother Abe tracks her down. He literally witnesses her true, terrifying magical nature as she commands the lake to seal Tom Thumb's tomb. He sees plain as day that she isn't just a normal pioneer girl, she is a supernatural force. But you know what he does? He simply takes her hand and says, "Come, sister, let's go home." She is completely, wonderfully accepted for exactly who she is, no caveats. So the crucial point we want to leave you with is this. John Coley's The Western Weird isn't just a fun adventure, it's an absolute roadmap for turning your insecurities into your greatest assets. And it leaves us with a question that honestly every single reader, young or old, should ask themselves. What are your own weird traits, and how might they actually be your biggest strengths? Think about that for a bit. Embrace your own inner magic, and until next time, keep exploring.